What is up, guys? Welcome back to another drag tune video. This is your boy Mars. I have a little special video for you guys. What I'm gonna do in this video, I haven't done it in a while. I'm actually going to do a scratch tune video for you guys. So pretty much I'm gonna buy a car and fully build it from scratch, and I want to show you guys why I put certain parts, why I do what I do, and how to pretty much make a drag vehicle. So let's get right to it. So what I decided was, let's go here to the storefront here. Let's buy a car real quick. I am going to buy the Buick again, because my original video with the Buick video, it's really old. So I figure let's do an update on the Buick, and let's just buy it there. Let's buy it out right here. I'll probably change the color later, but let's just do it the way it originally comes like that black color. Everybody new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Everybody that's already here, hit those thumbs up on there. Let's go straight to the garage, custom upgrades. So now you go here to the conversions. In the conversions, I always take a look at the conversions, see what they have. Sometimes I look at the original engine and I fully build the original engine and see how much horsepower it gives me. Majority of the times, original engine does not give you that much horsepower, but there are special occasions like the Supra and stuff like that that the original engine actually gives you more horsepower than everything else. So let's put the V8. In this case, it does not, so we're going to put the V8 in there. Of course, leave the car rear wheel drive. And when it comes to the turbos, I prefer twin turbo. It gives you a higher top end. It does give you a slower lag in the beginning. The superchargers give you instant torque, so you do from the line to launch really quick, but it does lag on top end. Okay, and then this right here is, you just don't get that much horsepower. So majority of the time what I go is twin turbo to get that top end. It still catches up on the superchargers, and if you do have a really good supercharged tune, you will beat turbo ones, but majority of the time the turbo ones have that top end, and that's why I put the twin turbos. Let's go over here, let's fully build it. Okay, so when it comes towards the intercoolers, I always put the intercoolers. This has been a trick that has been around for about 2-3 games now. When it comes towards the Horizon games, is actually deciding if you want to add 8 more horsepower or not in this V8. And so we're not going to add the additional 8 horsepower because it's just pointless. It just adds so much weight into the car and it doesn't do anything from that. Flywheel was another thing. Flywheel was always like a little debate back in Horizon 3 and Horizon 2. Majority of the times we did not put flywheel, but in this game, with the conditions that you do have drag tires, we do put flywheel. Back in the other games, we did not put flywheel because it did tend to give your car more of a spin. So with this game, we are going to put the flywheel. Suspension. When it always comes to the suspension, a lot of people would have thought to put the race suspension on there. The race suspension is actually way too stiff. Race suspension just doesn't give you the softness that you need from having the rally suspension. So ever since they introduced rally suspension, we've always put rally suspension. So road cages was really a must back in the older games. We always had to put the road cages because we didn't have drag tires. But in this game, we do not do or put road cages. Full rate reducted, and that's always a must. You always full rate reduct your cars, and we get that to 2,800 pounds. Always put all these parts because you are going to adjust every single one of these aspects here. tires. Always put those drag tires. Drag tires was something that we've asked for in the drag racing community for a very long time. All they used to always only give us was race tires, and race tires did not help at all. We had to overcome race tires, and we did. We always did. So let's put the rally, not rally. Let's put those drag tires on there. On the front, you never have to make the front tire width wider at all on a rear-wheel drive car. Sometimes you don't even have to as well in an all-wheel drive car, but you do not do it on rear-wheel drive cars. On these, of course, you have to. On the back end, always max out that. We got 345s in the back, which is a really nice width in the back. And then always just pick the lightest weight wheels, whatever you guys like that just looks good. I wish these beaded out wheels was only on the back instead of the front, but these would be amazing. I'm gonna put those in there. Sizes. Back in the day, we used to do something with sizes in the back. We used to make the back ones a little bigger and stuff like that, depending on what car and stuff like that. With this game, you do not have to go any bigger on the sizes. You just leave it alone at the stock size. And now that they introduced these spacers, it's just more of an like an aesthetic thing, just so how the way the car will look. So majority of the time, what I would do is just put the back wheels all the way wide out. It just looks really aggressive. When it comes to the bumpers, I always take a look at the front and back bumpers just to see if I can take off the spoilers, or if I can have a form of making the bumpers lighter. Majority of the time, when they give you an option for the hood, you actually can make the hood lighter. So we're going to put this hood there. And that is the build. That is exactly the build. Majority of the times I already kind of have a base idea of how these cars run, because of the weight and because of the motor that it has. So let's fast travel. Let's get out of here. Fast travel to the track. We should be at a beautiful weather here. And let's do this. Let's go right to the track here. So when it comes to suspension, suspension has always been kind of about the same throughout the games. Let me just line it up here. Alright, so when it comes towards suspension, you go to the tuning here, suspension, and pretty much let's start from the basics. The basics here is the tire pressures. Tire pressures is just common sense. You want the most footprint in the back. You want those back tires to have the most grip ever possible. So what you want to do is just pretty much go to 15. It's just really simple. Just to go to 15. If you always on the front, always get that inflated. You barely want those front tires to touch the ground. You want it to be as inflated as much as you can. You can actually just go all the way max out at 55. It wouldn't make that big of a change if you do 45 and 55. So you don't want those tires to barely touch the ground, and that's why you inflate the front tires. When you go to the gears, the final drive is based on the rest of the gears. So when you first tune these cars, you're always going to tune it with the final drive, and then you go with all the rest of the gears. So even if I make this final drive a 220, I'm tuning all these gears for that final drive. So I can leave this final drive alone at 295, and then I can just tune the rest of the gears. But we're going to come back to that. So with the suspension, a lot of the people, what they've been doing is doing the positive camber on the front so that they can barely touch. Again, you don't want those front tires to be dragged, touching the ground pretty much. They want those front tires to barely not even be there. So a lot of people, what they did is put more positive camber in the front to give it so for the tires barely be touching the front ground. In the rear, some people did do some more positive camber or negative camber. Majority of it was positive because when you squat the car down, it'll cave in the back and actually even out that negative in the rear. So people always trying to make it as realistic as they can, but this game is actually a game, guys. So you can't really go on real life. You got to kind of go on the way that the game likes it. So the way that the game likes it, you can do 0 front and back, it really wouldn't hurt, or you can do positive in the front, it really wouldn't hurt. As long as you don't go crazy aggressive, you'll be okay. And the back, and then I always use this caster at 7. It really doesn't change anything as well. This is another thing with anti-roll bars. What I've liked that I've noticed in this game, it likes to actually be stiff instead of being soft. All the way soft is more of an all-wheel drive thing, but majority of the time this car likes to be all the way stiff. So we do 65-65. When it comes to the springs, this is one of the key components here as well. Springs can change so much in the game, but majority of it is having a really soft front springs so that the car initially lifts up to transfer all that power to the back, and in the back having it real stiff. You don't want the back to be all floppy and then just squat down and you barely have that grip in the back. So what we normally do, there's actually a formula to make the back stiffness. The formula pretty much works based on the weight of the car, and that's how you work on with the formula. But for this video purpose, we're just going to make it stiff in the front. Soft in the front, stiff in the rear at 559. And always been with the rear-wheel drive scene has been the cars lifted all the way up in the front and the back. If you do lower it all the way in the front, your 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 actually just skyrockets. So it's just one of those things that you never kind of really look at 0 to 60 and 0 to 100, but you kind of do when you do tuning the suspension before you even get to the gears. But it's just like it's pros and cons. You can do sometimes the 0 to 60, 0 to 100 will throw you off, and sometimes it don't. Sometimes it kind of helps you. So you just kind of got to go with the way it feels. But for right now, we're just going to have the suspension all the way up. It's always kind of been like that with the rear wheel drives. Let's go to the dampening. And the dampening has been about the same. Been soft in the front, stiff in the rear. A lot of guys just max it all out. Just do this real to just, make it real easy. Sometimes the front end is too loose. The front end is just too bouncy. So what you'll do is go up to about 1.5 or 2. Sometimes it's not. You can just leave it at 1. So on this video, let's do a 1.5 in the front. I don't like mine being so bouncy that every single time I shift a gear, the front end just bounces up and down, up and down. And then nothing with the aero. With the brakes, now if you want to do reverse burnouts in this game, you can just put this towards 10 or 0, and you can do reverse burnouts, but you are going to lack in braking. Once you start braking at high speeds, if you don't have rewind, it's going to be kind of difficult. With the differentials, we just max them out at 100 and 100. We don't want no problems with the differential at all, so we just max them out like that. So we are done with that. Now we're going to figure out what the gears are. So always get the tires hot, figure out what the gears are going to be. What I always do, I use the base tune on it, and I do a launch with the base tune and kind of see where I'm at. So I go like here. Majority of the time with this LS motor, it loves to be at a 5K launch, so I'm gonna launch it at 5K. So the car even grips at a 5K launch, and I haven't even tuned none of the gears at all. So that's really good news. To launch it at a 5K, guys, if you guys don't know how to do that, you do have to press down on the e-brake, press down on the gas. The car will hold about almost 2,000 miles per hour. 2,000 miles per hour. It'll hold 2,000 on the RPMs, and the boost now is at 6.2. You got a torque of 260. To get it up higher, you got to put there on the clutch. You got to be manual with clutch, of course. Press down on the clutch and really quick take off and on the e-brake. You'll see it go up. If you do pass, normally 5,000 is the number that everybody goes with. If you do pass 5,000, you will be all you gotta do is let go of the gas slowly, and it'll drop back down, and then you'll get the car to launch really, really easy. This is why these people love this car so much, because I haven't done anything to the car, to the gears or anything. It is actually just driving really, really good. It's launching, it's moving, it's doing everything it's supposed to do, and all I did was just work on the suspension. So let's go over here really quick. Alrighty, so where we're at. So pretty much now we have to launch it and let's make the car as short as we can. We have to have that gear be so short that the car will launch. This car actually likes to be launched at 4,000. And having the track and knowing where you trap at is the key. With this car, 170 miles per hour trap zone and 171 is the number to always be at. It's something that you kind of just go by when you keep on tuning the car. So let's go right over here. Let's go to the gears really quick. So we are at a 2.94. It already launched at first gear really easy. Very, very easy. So now let's go higher towards acceleration to figure out if this car does spin and will spin on us. Always get the tires hot. Let's line it up here really quick. Press down on the e-brake, press down on gas, press down on the clutch, on off the e-brake. Get it down to about 4,000. So my fourth gear tops out right there. Let's final drive, fix that fourth gear there. But as you guys see, the car already came, the way it's already set up, it already moves down the track. Majority of the time you will not find that. Let's go higher here with acceleration. With the second gear, I like the way it feels, but I like even numbers, so I'm gonna go to 150, and then on number fourth gear here, let's go all the way to 1.10 because it topped out. It was bouncing on that fourth gear. It's going to be a 4-gear tunes. Let's heat up the tires again. Let's press down e-brake, gas, clutch, on off the e-brake. Get it to about 4,000. Let go of both of those. Alright, so I did a 169, but as you guys saw, that fourth gear was actually a little longer than expected. So what we're going to do now is fix the second and third. Let's go to a 1.95. I normally go by 5 clicks depending on how far away I am. If I'm really far away, I normally do like 10 clicks. But let's do 5 clicks towards speed. Making it towards speed makes gears longer. Making it towards acceleration makes gears shorter. So let's go 5 and 5 on second gear and third gear. Let's get the tires hot again. Line it up. Press down the e-brake, press down on gas, press down the clutch, on off the e-brake. If you pass it, remember to let go of the gas really slowly. There we go, guys. Did my first 170 miles per hour. Car looks like it wants more. It looks like it needs more. So for me to do that, let's make that first gear just a little bit shorter again. Let's do again 5 clicks towards it. Acceleration on that first gear. So we're at 3.05, 195, 145, and 110. Leaving that final drive alone because this car drives really, really well already with it. So let's leave that final drive alone, and we're just going to adjust the gears based on that final drive. Press down on the e-brake, gas, clutch, on off the e-brake. Oh look, if he's doing that right there, it's because I did it too fast. So I got to press down on the e-brake, gas, wait for it to drop. Now on the clutch, on off the e-brake, get it to about 4,000. Look at that. That front end almost wants to start lifting off the ground because that 4K launching. Really nice. There we go. Now we're doing a higher 170 miles per hour. So this is all it is, guys. It's just keep on tweaking it and make sure to always do it by 5 clicks or less. If your first gear is just spinning on you like crazy, that means that your final drive you have to push it all the way towards speed, and then just keep adjusting first, second, and third. But right when you're really close, like I am right now, of hitting really good numbers, all you want to do is just do about a 5-click tune with it, and then just go from there. But right now, this car feels really, really smooth. Smooth transitions all around. It traps at about 170 miles per hour for you guys. So this right now is a really nice smooth car. But make sure to always keep fine tuning it. Another key with this game is reaction. Having a good reaction, having a good connection, having a good TV. If you guys are good using TVs, having all those things work out, because you always want to be the first one to see the light before everybody else does. And then besides that, it's the tune. Besides that, it's the tune. First and second gears have been the ones that destroy a tune or make a tune. And hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys would use some of the tips. And then I will see you guys around with another drag tune video. Peace out, everybody. Bye bye.